Hi, this is Edie Dahlke with Waterfront Life, and today I have someone who actually was a trained lawyer and at one time was counsel to an internationally. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you and good afternoon, Edie. My name is Michael Ovacik. I'm the company owner and president of US Blinds.
And how did you go from law to owning a blinds and shutter manufacturing?
That's a very good question. As a lawyer, I was involved in commercial transactions and I worked internationally. When I returned back to the United States, I did similar work in commercial transactions, mergers and acquisitions, and I represented clients on the buy and sell side. So I got to look at all manner of business, large and small. And eventually I thought, you know, with my background, I would do well in owning and operating my own business. So that's what I did. I've owned several other businesses, and I just happened to come to Volusia County, which I really love and enjoy now out of sheer happenstance, because I was meeting with a broker who showed me a listing in Orlando, couldn't do a deal with that person. And then the broker said, well, I've got this company in Volusia County. And I said, where the heck is that? Now, if you had said Daytona Beach, I would have said NASCAR and racing and beaches. I would have kind of had a really good idea, but I didn't because Volusia County. Anyway, I came to New Smyrna Beach and I said, wow, what a cool little beach town this is. I tried to do a deal with that guy. I'm a good negotiator, but I've always negotiated fairly, what I thought would be fair and square terms. But you know, when people are selling their own businesses, it's like you're kind of giving away your child.
Yeah.
And it's hard for them to let go, and they always think that their child, like their business, is more precious than maybe the true value is. But so I had my eyes on Volusia County as soon as I came to the area, thought it had tremendous potential, had all of the attraction that one looks. You have natural scenery. You don't have a high amount of congestion or traffic, although that's changing. You've got good hospitals. There's their own local airport and great school system, universities and colleges. So it really checked all the boxes. And plus the building, the business I actually ended up acquiring, again, met all of my boxes as a purchaser of a business. The business had been in operation since 1984, so it had a long standing in the community, has an excellent reputation, and this truly was a business where the owner had started the company to full retirement age. I believe the former owner was in his late 70s or 80s when he retired from the business. So this was why it was so attractive for me and how I got into owning and operating US Blinds.
Well, I will say that you shared a little bit of what the Waterfront readers might read in the July issue. Michael hasn't even seen this.
Oh gosh.
Because in the July issue, we have him as sponsor of the month. So you're going to read a little bit more. You haven't seen that. And I did make a note that US Blinds was the very first company that signed up with N2 Publishing. And that was nearly 7 years ago. And they have been excellent advertising partners. So thank you for that. Tell me how things have changed with COVID and with your staff. What all are you doing during this time?
Well, there is an expression in French that goes "la même séchoise, something, something. The more things change, the more things stay the same. So on the one hand, we have had dramatic and significant changes how we do things operationally. But that said, we still continue to operate very similarly in that we have clients, retail, residential, commercial. We consult with them and we find solutions to their needs, which are normally window treatments or custom awnings or draperies. It's just that we handle ourselves a little bit differently. We have Zoom meetings like we're doing now. We can work with people remotely. We practice social distancing. We do all the things that we need to do in terms of safe protocols. And I think really a lot of it is common sense. If you had a cold and you were contagious or infectious, you probably should not come to work. And if you are cold or infectious or contagious, or you don't really know it, but you feel you're not doing too well, you shouldn't get too close in people's personal space. You want to be in a well-ventilated place, and you don't want to be touching a lot of surfaces. Certainly don't want to share cell phones, remote controls, utensils, drinking cups, and all the like. So really, the more things change, the more things stay the same. But we really have contoured our operations to meet the needs and demands of our clients. Again, there's a lot of discussion about, well, should I wear a mask? Should I not wear a mask? We always recommend that people wear masks. It is a personal choice, notwithstanding the fact that many communities are mandated, including our very own Daytona Beach, probably in Flagler County, where we have a showroom in Palm Coast. That will come to pass. So we always try to keep abreast of all of these changes, and we operate safely and within the confines of what the safe public health guidelines require.
Right. You know, a lot of people, because US Blinds does have an excellent reputation, but I don't think a lot of people know how big you are. Tell me how many showrooms and where they are.
Well, we've primarily, our main footprint is, physically speaking, in Volusia County. We have 4 showrooms starting from the north, Ormond Beach. Our second one is South Daytona, Port Orange. Our third one is New Smyrna Beach. And then, wait, our fourth one, we have a fourth one. There's 4 of them.
Yeah.
Palm Coast and Flagler County, Ormond Beach, Port Orange, South Daytona, New Smyrna Beach.
New Smyrna. Right, right.
So we have a total of 9 salespeople, 10, 11 salespeople, and then we have a number of installers. We've got a large fleet of vehicles, but we also cover a very large territory. For example, we do all of the Starbucks locations in East and Central Florida. We do all of the Wawa locations. This is this really popular gas station chain that has a really solid footprint throughout all of Florida. So we do all of their locations. So we also do all of the public school districts, including Flagler, Volusia County, Orange County Public School District. And we also do a lot of business in the Lake Mary and Heathrow communities of Seminole County. So we really do cover a large territory. And with respect to some of our competitors, we're probably 10 to 15 times the size, and both in terms of manpower as well as sheer volume of products sold or revenues generated.
Right. And I just want to kind of make a note that you run in our Heathrow, Lake Forest, and Alaqua Lake neighborhood newsletters, and we really appreciate that. So I know you have a footprint right there, besides the companies you just talked about. And speaking of like the comparison, tell us a little bit about what you can do as a company different from the competition or other businesses that do the same thing as you guys.
That's a very good question, Edie. A lot of companies have similar products and product lines. So there's not much differentiation in that respect. That said, we have really very experienced designers, and we really have highly experienced installers. I mean, we have 40 years of history as a corporation. We've had some people working for us for 20 years plus, and we have little or no turnover. So people know us because we have the same people going to their business, their office, or their home for years. And so I think not only do we have the highest educated, experienced, and certified installers and designers, but we also, really dominate our space because of the immense quantities or volume. So, if you're in business, if you sell 10 to 20 times the amount of widgets, you're probably going to get a really good price on your widgets. So, so if you combine our pricing, our geographical reach, and our certified and highly experienced designers and installers, then really can't compare us to anybody else in the field.
Absolutely. So what does Michael enjoy most about, now that you've done this for a while? You bought the business several years ago. What do you enjoy?
Well, not only do I enjoy learning more and exploring all that is great and wonderful about Volusia and Flagler counties, which is it's really a nice undiscovered gem. I imagine in 10 years or 15 years from now, it might be like Fort Lauderdale or Miami. For better or worse, we have to embrace that. But there's so much really to enjoy here. And one thing that I really enjoy is, as an active business owner, being involved in many community activities and really supporting many different causes. Our whole company, my wife and I, we're all passionate animal lovers. So we support the Halifax Humane Society. We also support the Flagler Humane Society. Just this past month, we did all of the 19 offices for the Flagler Humane Society. We donated all of our goods. And another thing that also I think is really fantastic, because it just makes me feel great. We're all very cognizant of affordable housing and the problem of homelessness. This COVID-19 has shown there are a lot of people who are really living on the edge. If you have a furlough or if you're temporarily unemployed, some people are out of their house. To combat that, to really help this cause of affordable housing, because you need housing that provides a basis for a stable worker population. So you cannot, if your service personnel cannot live and work in the area in which they do business, shame on you as a community. And to that extent, we continue and have provided all of the window treatments for Volusia, Greater Habitat for Humanity, as well as the Flagler Habitat for Humanity. So anytime they do a home, we provide the window treatments. And so over the years, that's probably I think Habitat here in Greater Volusia County, I think they're on home 189 or 203. Don't quote me on this, Edie. But we continue to do that. And what we've also really get a kick out of is we do the build. So we have very talented people, but there's also probably better tradesmen than our folks. And so invariably we get asked to paint the houses. We usually do that on January and February. We did the last home in DeBerry. We just ended up putting the window treatments in it this past month in June. And the new family who we met while we were painting their home, they moved in just this past week.
Wow, that is something I did not know about your company. That's really, really, really great.
And here's why Habitat for Humanity I'm so passionate about. I was a former city manager at one time in Detroit. If you don't have a stable housing stock, you don't have property taxes. If you don't have property taxes, you can't provide services, essential service like public safety, garbage pickup, lighting, street repair, providing for community recreational activities. So everything is so interlinked, but it starts with having stable housing. And if you go into what they call neighborhoods that are in transition, you build one house. It's like planting a seed. Next thing you know, the people down the street, they're painting their house. Next thing you know, somebody's putting some flowers in their house. Then somebody else feels, oh my gosh, you know, we really got to do something about that fence that's falling down. And all of a sudden, you've just changed a whole community. You really improved their quality of life. So that's something we're really committed to.
Definitely a synergy, yep.
Yeah, so that's things that really resonate with me, and I'm not just speaking for myself. We all are very sensitive to this in my company. I also have like a housing stipend. I will be providing us housing assistance for first-time homeowners in my company. And
wow.
That includes single people. You know, a lot of people divorce, and it has ruinous economic financial consequences for them. So we provide a housing stipend or allowance to help them make that first down payment. You know, that's the big thing. If you can get over that hurdle of making that down payment, then you can be a homeowner.
Right,
so
right.
That really improving housing and having more people who aren't transient as a population is something that's really important. Case in point, the homeless shelter, first step. You know, there was a lot of discussion in our community about the homeless shelter. Yes. Well, you know, we have a transient population here in the greater Daytona Beach area, which really doesn't help if we're trying to become, if we want to continue to improve our draw as a tourism area. And so a lot of people who are transient have problems with permanent housing. And so there was some controversy about establishing a facility for the homeless. I'm of the opinion that everybody needs housing. This is only temporary transitional housing. It helps get our homeless off the street and stabilize them. They also have many different community programs that help people get the job and life skills they need to re-enter the workforce. Of course, a lot of these individuals do struggle with mental health and depression, but we felt strongly about, again, helping the homeless, and it's a issue regarding housing. We also did all the window treatments. We provided that as a donation to that facility.
That's, again, I'm learning all sorts of things that I didn't realize about US Blinds. So Michael, tell us something about yourself that we might not know through the business.
Okay. I am a former Fulbright scholar. I went to school at the University of Michigan, and my last year as a senior, I spent a year abroad at Bosphorus University, which is a preeminent, highly regarded school in Istanbul. So I'm fluent in Turkish. And I later ended up using my Turkish linguistic skills to work as an international lawyer and do syndicated lending. So I know that area well. I love Turkish food, and I love the Turkish culture.
I do too. That's amazing. Love Istanbul. What would your advice be to residents or anyone who might be thinking of changing the current window treatments, or they have a brand new area they would like to do something with? What's your advice to someone who has not worked with US blinds before?
Well, we have a number of different showrooms. So if anybody would like to go to our showroom, we have a wide variety of samples that people can examine and review. Or better yet, we will come to their home, office, or business to get a sense of what their needs are. Are they looking for light control? Do they really have an issue with neighborhood privacy? Or are they trying to improve the thermal efficiency of their home? They can't afford to have new windows, so by putting in shutters, you have better insulation. You're not going to really run up your utility bills, and it'll also make your home a lot quieter. And by looking at your home, office, or business, are really experienced decorators, these are designers, they can get a sense of your fashion style or your taste. And if you don't have any idea, they've got enough expertise and background to help guide you to what works, solving your problems and providing a solution that meets your needs and budget.
That's awesome. What's the best way to reach your company?
Well, we have a website, usblinds.net. You can hear our ads on the radio. We're on Spectrum, cable, channel 13, CNBC, MSNBC, et cetera, or come to any one of our 4 showrooms in Palm Coast, Ormond Beach, Port Orange, South Daytona, or New Smyrna Beach. For our customers who are elsewhere, like in Seminole County, Lake Mary, Heathrow, Alaquia Lakes, we go to them. So it's just a matter of making an appointment, and we will have somebody come right out to your home, business, or office and help you any way that we can.
Awesome. Well, Michael, thank you for your time. It was good to get to know you a little bit better. And again, just representing N2 and N2 Publishing and all the newsletters that you're a part of. Thank you. Thank you for your partnership.
My pleasure. Thank you for this opportunity. Appreciate your time, Edie.